Good morning. I have chosen my two infographics to be about social media. With social media being such a big part of our world nowadays, I thought it would be important to look at how people are displaying them in terms of statistics. So, the first infographic I chose is based upon the social media numbers, as the title. Uh, the first section goes over Facebook, talking about how many users there are, the average time on the site, the age group in which the majority of the users are in, and the genders. The next section goes over Twitter and talks about monthly active users, average time on site, and then it throws a different twist and talks about how many average businesses each Twitter user follows. Then we go into LinkedIn, which is not necessarily what I would think of as a social media. However, it is, I guess, considered a social media. And it talks about it gives statistics for the 39 million grad students. It talks about the age, once again, users worldwide, and then how many of the users don't use Twitter. So, as far as just looking at this infographic, it gives fairly this infographic gives the same statistics across the board, talking about how many users, minutes a day, age group or gender group, and then just some other little facts. As far as visually appealing, it's a very neutral, or not neutral, but bright colorway. So it talks about 1.4 billion users in Facebook, 320 million active users in Twitter, 39 million recent grad students in LinkedIn, 20 minutes a day on Facebook, average 17 minutes a day on Twitter, and then little stats here and there. The second infographic I have chosen is by Meltwater, and it is titled "The State of Social Media in 2018." And the previous infographic focused mainly on worldwide. This one is at least the first group on this. The state of social media is about the percentage of UK population, so that being the United Kingdom, with 79% use Facebook, 41% use Instagram, 47% use Twitter, 33% use LinkedIn, 36% use Pinterest. Then it kind of gives some just random little facts. 500 million tweets are sent out each day, 400 million daily Instagram story users. And then talking about retweets, so tweets with videos are retweeted 6 times more than photos. Facebook native views have an average of 477% higher share rates than YouTube videos. There are more than 33,000 active chat bots on Facebook. 70% of social media time is spent on a mobile device, and organic reach for Facebook pages is less than 2%. So, looking at the two infographics, the first infographic seems to be based more on a marketing standpoint. It talks about the age groups that are used, the genders, how many active users a day, and the average time. And then, especially on the Twitter section, it talks about that the average Twitter user follows 5 or more businesses, and that 37% of Twitter users will buy from a brand they follow. And then LinkedIn goes from a different, not just like consumers, but goes then to outreaching, looking for potential employees, talking about recent grad students, and how many of them don't use Twitter. The second infographic seems to just be showing how much social media we use, talking about, like I said, 500 million tweets are sent each day, 400 million daily Instagram story users, and then talking about 33,000 active chatbots on Facebook. So one of the things I found very interesting about the two infographics I chose is that when I chose them, I didn't even notice this. However, they use very, very similar colorways, and they both have little facts kind of thrown in there. So for Twitter, they have the how many tweets are sent each day fact, and then the little Twitter logos going up and down. And then on the first infographic, it has 5 business things talking about how many Twitter users follow businesses. And then the Instagram fact is it has the Instagram story. It has its little outline on it. So I just found it very interesting that both of them share a very similar colorway, and I wonder if that's something that has to do with grabbing attention, or maybe not being too bright or too dull, and to grab people's attention. So I think that in order to reach a wide audience of just trying to kind of get facts out there, it's important to take some of the social media numbers, statistics, like how many users, and then take the state of social media's facts and some of their more of their actual infographic part, not just the not just the I think it's important to take more of the infographic part from the state of social media, and not just the logos and the pictures that they use. So based upon what I have learned from the previous 2 infographics I have reviewed, I made my infographic with a very, very similar color scheme, trying to incorporate a lot of that light blue, almost a seafoam green color, and the orange color. And I took facts that were in both the social media in 2018 and the today's social media infographics, and I rearranged them and put them into an infographic to try and combine the best of both worlds. I tried to use the picture style from the social media in 2018, but a little more of the formatting from the first infographic. So based upon those 2, my audience that I'm trying to reach is just about anybody looking up anything kind of facts about social media. There's some about marketing in there. There's some about just the everyday amount of users, and also the pros and cons for marketing or outreach of some social medias compared to others. And so that's why I picked the color scheme I did for my infographic. I think that it kind of combines the best of both worlds, and makes it a lot easier to find things and to do some information from it. Thank you.